book I am talking about today is called From Far Away by Robert Munsch and Susan Askar, illustrated by Rebecca Green. This book is very different because it's the real story of Susan Askar. While in elementary school, Susan wrote a letter to Robert Munsch about her life. Together, they created her story into this book. Although this book would be a great read for all ages, it is aimed for primary elementary. It is easy to follow along because of the language used and the beautiful illustrations. This book talks about the struggles faced by immigrants or refugees coming to a new country. It explains the challenges Suzanne faces, getting used to new country's culture and the challenges of not speaking the same language. Suzanne was born in a country called Lebanon during the war. Her parents decided it was no longer safe to live there anymore. Suzanne and her family then immigrated to Canada. When she got here, her father took her to school and told her to be good and listen to her teacher. The problem was that Suzanne didn't speak English. She did not understand what her teacher or classmates were saying to her. How would you feel if you entered a new school and didn't understand anyone around you? What might be difficult? Not knowing English made it difficult for Suzanne. She didn't even know how to ask to go to the washroom. Suzanne also played different games than the kids at school. When she tried to explain the game to the other kids at recess, it was hard for the other students to understand what she was trying to explain to them. One day, Suzanne went to the washroom. There, she ran into a skeleton in the hallway that had been up for Halloween. But the skeleton reminded her of the really bad things she saw back in Lebanon. She was so afraid and felt so unsafe. She screamed, and the teacher came to help her, but she could not explain why she was feeling afraid and upset because they did not understand what she was saying. When we feel upset about something, we usually like to talk to others about why we're feeling upset. How hard do you think it would be if you were feeling afraid or unsafe, but you couldn't explain it to anyone because they didn't understand you? Read From Far Away to hear more about the real story of Suzanne Askar and her struggles faced when moving to Canada for the first time. Will Suzanne get more comfortable with her school, teacher, and new classmates? Will she make friends and learn how to communicate to others around her? When immigrants or refugees are coming to Canada for the first time, sometimes they are coming from unsafe countries and do not speak the same language. They might feel afraid, unwelcome, or confused. After reading the story, think about what can we do to help new students coming to Canada? How can we make them feel safe and welcome in our schools and our community?